Have you ever wondered how the land of the pharaohs and pyramids came to be? Let's unravel the mysteries of Egypt's history together. In the beginning, there was only a vast, arid desert, but then the Nile River brought life and prosperity to the land, attracting early settlers. These early inhabitants found the Nile's fertile banks to be an ideal place for settlement, and so began the story of Egypt around 8,000 years ago in the Neolithic period. The Nile, with its seasonal flooding, provided a consistent water supply and fertile soil, making agriculture a viable pursuit. This allowed the early Egyptians to settle and begin building a structured society. They cultivated wheat and barley, reared livestock, and made pottery, the remnants of which give us a glimpse into their lives. But let's not forget, Egypt is not just about the Nile. It's about the people who harnessed this river and turned a desert into a cradle of civilization. Among these early communities, two main kingdoms emerged: Upper Egypt to the south, and Lower Egypt to the north. They were distinguished by their crowns, the tall white hedget for Upper Egypt, and the red deshret for Lower Egypt. The unification of these two kingdoms around 3100 BC is a significant milestone in Egypt's history. The credit for this monumental task goes to King Narmer, often identified as the same figure as Menes in ancient records. Narmer's reign marked the beginning of the First Dynastic Period and the start of pharaonic rule. The Narmer Palette, a significant archaeological find, commemorates this unification. It depicts Narmer wearing both the crowns of Upper and Lower Egypt, signifying his rule over the unified kingdom. This moment was not just about political unification, it was the merging of diverse cultures, rituals, and gods, shaping the unique and rich tapestry of Egyptian civilization. Thus began the journey of one of the world's most ancient civilizations. Imagine a time when pharaohs ruled and gods walked among men. This was the Old Kingdom era of Egypt, a time when the foundations of the Egyptian civilization were being built. It was during this period that the iconic pyramids we associate with Egypt today began to rise from the desert sands. These monumental structures were not just feats of engineering, they were declarations of power and divinity, each one a testament to the godlike status of the pharaohs who commissioned them. The pharaohs weren't merely rulers, they were considered divine beings, the earthly incarnations of the gods. Their rule was absolute, their decrees unquestioned. They were the spiritual, judicial, and political leaders of their people, the living link between the gods and the mortal world. The pharaohs' influence stretched far beyond their lifetimes, as they believed in an afterlife where they would continue their divine rule. Hence, they erected these colossal pyramids as their eternal homes, filled with treasures for their journey to the afterlife. From the grandeur of the Old Kingdom, we transition to the Middle Kingdom era. This period marked a significant expansion of Egypt's borders. The pharaohs of the Middle Kingdom were ambitious and driven, extending their rule far beyond the Nile Valley. They established a network of fortresses and trade routes, turning Egypt into a major player in the ancient world. The Middle Kingdom pharaohs were also known for their cultural contributions. They fostered the arts, literature, and architecture, and some of the most beautiful and enduring works of ancient Egyptian art were created during this era. They sought to immortalize their achievements, not just through grand monuments, but also through the cultural legacy they left behind. Through the centuries, the pharaohs' rule waxed and waned, their dynasties rose and fell, but their impact on Egypt's history and culture was profound and lasting. They shaped the identity of a nation, leaving behind a rich tapestry of history that continues to fascinate and inspire us today. The pharaohs left an indelible mark on Egypt's history. Their legacy, etched in stone and sand, remains as a testament to their divine rule and the civilization they built. Let's journey into the golden age of Egypt's empire. The New Kingdom era, a time of prosperity and power, dawned around the 16th century BC. This period was characterized by the reign of some of Egypt's most powerful pharaohs, whose influence extended far beyond the borders of Egypt. The most notable among them were Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, and Ramesses II. Akhenaten, also known as the Heretic King, was a revolutionary figure. He brought about a religious upheaval, shifting the religious focus from the multitude of traditional Egyptian gods to the worship of a single deity, the Aten, or the sun disk. This bold move was a radical departure from centuries of religious tradition and caused a great deal of controversy. The name Tutankhamun, on the other hand, is synonymous with mystery and intrigue. This boy king ascended the throne at the tender age of 9 and ruled for a decade. His reign was marked by the restoration of the old gods and the abandonment of Akhenaten's monotheism. However, it is his tomb, discovered virtually untouched in the early 20th century, that has made King Tut the most famous of all pharaohs. Ramesses II, often referred to as Ramesses the Great, was a warrior king, whose reign lasted an impressive 66 years. Known for his architectural prowess, he left an indelible mark on the landscape of Egypt, with grand temples and colossal statues. His military campaigns expanded Egypt's sphere of influence and solidified its position as a superpower of the ancient world. Under these powerful leaders, the New Kingdom era witnessed a period of extensive expansion. Egypt's power and influence reached its zenith, extending from present-day Sudan in the south to modern-day Syria in the north. The affluence brought by trade and conquest resulted in a cultural renaissance. The New Kingdom era stands as a testament to the grandeur of ancient Egypt, its pharaohs, its people, and its gods. This was the pinnacle of Egypt's power and influence. Every empire has its twilight, and so did Egypt. The New Kingdom, once a beacon of power and prosperity, began to fade around the 11th century BC. Internal strife, economic instability, and a series of weak pharaohs created a power vacuum that couldn't hold off the invasions from the outside world. The first to capitalize on Egypt's weakness were the Persians. They swept in, establishing their rule and marking the end of the native Egyptian dynasties. This was a period of cultural fusion, where Persian customs intermingled with Egyptian traditions, creating an interesting blend in art, architecture, and daily life. Yet, Egypt's strategic location made it a ripe fruit for the ambitious. The Greeks, under the famous conqueror Alexander the Great, took over from the Persians. He established the city of Alexandria, which became a hub of Hellenistic culture and knowledge. This era saw a fusion of Greek and Egyptian customs, giving rise to a new, vibrant society. But even the Greek rule couldn't last forever. After Alexander's death, his empire was divided, and Egypt fell under the rule of one of his generals, Ptolemy. It was during this Ptolemaic period that the last pharaoh of Egypt, the legendary Cleopatra, came to power. Cleopatra VII, as she's known, was a formidable leader. Her alliances with Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony are renowned tales of political intrigue and romantic drama. However, Cleopatra's reign was the last gasp of an independent Egypt. After her death, Egypt became a province of the expanding Roman Empire. This marked a significant shift in Egypt's history, as it was now under the control of a foreign power, losing its status as an independent kingdom. Egypt, once a dominant force, had become a pawn in the hands of others. Its ancient traditions and customs began to fade, replaced by those of its conquerors. The grandeur of the pharaohs, the might of the New Kingdom, the richness of its culture, all were now remnants of a bygone era. Egypt's glory days were now a thing of the past. A new chapter was about to begin in the annals of Egypt's history. With the Islamic Conquest in the mid-7th century, Egypt transitioned from a predominantly Christian land under the Byzantine Empire to an Islamic region under Arab rule. The Islamic Conquest, led by the general Amr ibn al-As, marked the end of centuries of Roman and Byzantine control. Egypt then became a part of the rapidly expanding Umayyad Caliphate. However, the Umayyads' reign was short-lived. Soon, the Abbasid Caliphate took over, shifting the center of Islamic power to Baghdad. Yet, Egypt's significant role on the world stage was far from over. The Fatimid dynasty, claiming descent from the Prophet Muhammad's daughter Fatima, established their rule in the 10th century. Cairo, known as Al-Qahira, was founded as their new capital. The Fatimids were unique for their promotion of religious tolerance and cultural diversity, allowing for a flourishing of arts, sciences, and trade. But the winds of change were blowing again, and in the 13th century, the Mamluk Sultanate rose to power. The Mamluks, former slave soldiers turned rulers, effectively defended Egypt against Mongol invasions and preserved the country's independence. Yet, the Mamluks' reign was not to last. The 15th century saw the rise of a new power, the Ottomans. With the fall of Constantinople, the Ottoman Empire expanded its territories, and Egypt fell under its rule. The Ottoman period, which lasted till the late 19th century, brought significant cultural transformations. Arabic replaced Greek as the official language, and Cairo emerged as a center of Islamic learning and culture. The Ottoman rule, however, was not without its challenges. Revolts, power struggles, and foreign invasions marked this period. Despite these tumultuous times, Egypt maintained its unique cultural identity, blending the ancient with the new. The land of the pharaohs was now under the crescent moon. Egypt, with its rich tapestry of history, was now an integral part of the Islamic world, a testament to its resilience and adaptability in the face of change. Fast forward to the birth of modern Egypt. The dawning of the modern era in Egypt was marked by the French expedition under Napoleon Bonaparte in the late 18th century. This expedition, while military in nature, also brought scholars who studied Egypt's history and culture, sparking a renewed global interest in this ancient civilization. But the French rule was short-lived, and by the early 19th century, Britain had stepped in as the new colonial power. The British occupation, which lasted until the mid-20th century, was a period of significant change for Egypt. Modern institutions and infrastructures were established, and Cairo, the capital, grew into a cosmopolitan city. One of the most significant events during the British occupation was the construction of the Suez Canal. This monumental project, completed in 1869, connected the Mediterranean and the Red Seas, revolutionizing global trade routes and solidifying Egypt's geopolitical importance. However, while the canal brought wealth to some, it also brought hardship to many Egyptians. This, coupled with resentment against foreign rule, set the stage for a revolution. In 1952, a group of army officers led by Gamal Abdel Nasser overthrew King Farouk in a bloodless coup. Nasser would go on to become one of the most influential leaders in the Arab world. Under Nasser, Egypt was declared an Arab republic, marking the end of monarchy. His era was characterized by socialist policies, pan-Arab nationalism, and a non-aligned foreign policy. Today, Egypt continues to navigate its way through the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century, striving to balance tradition with modernity, and national interests with global dynamics. From the land of the pharaohs to a pivotal player in the Middle East, the journey of Egypt is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of its people. Through every era, every challenge, they have persevered, preserving their rich heritage while embracing the future. Egypt has indeed come a long way. From the times of the pharaohs to the present day, Egypt's history is a fascinating tale. Let's take a moment to journey back through this riveting narrative that we've woven together, from the dawn of civilization to the heartbeat of the modern world. We began our journey in the misty recesses of time, where the roots of Egypt's history lie shrouded in mystery. The intriguing beginnings, where civilization was just taking root, set the stage for the grandeur that was to follow. Then, we stepped into the sun-drenched world of the Age of Pharaohs, a time of monumental architecture and intricate art, where pharaohs ruled with divine authority, and the Nile's rhythm dictated the ebb and flow of life. These powerful leaders left an indelible mark, their legacies etched in stone and sand, still standing tall after thousands of years. Our journey continued into the New Kingdom and the Age of Empire, a period that saw Egypt rise to unparalleled heights. The lands grew, the riches increased, and Egypt's influence stretched far and wide. This was a time of empire builders, of grand conquerors and legendary queens. But no empire lasts forever. We then explored the period of decline and conquests. From the Persians to the Romans, from the Byzantines to the Arabs, Egypt's destiny was shaped by a series of foreign rulers. Each conquest, each change in power, added another layer to Egypt's rich tapestry of history. Next, we delved into the era of Islamic Egypt and the Ottoman Rule. A time of profound cultural evolution and political transformation, this period shaped Egypt's identity in ways that still echo in the present day. And finally, we arrived in modern Egypt, a nation that is both deeply rooted in its past and ambitiously reaching for the future, a place where ancient pyramids stand side by side with bustling metropolises, where the echoes of pharaohs can be heard amidst the hum of contemporary life. Throughout this journey, one thing has remained clear: Egypt's history has left an indelible impact on its present and will undoubtedly shape its future. The enduring legacy of the pharaohs, the resilience shown through periods of conquest and change, and the cultural richness developed over millennia, all these elements have woven together to create the vibrant tapestry that is Egypt today. As we close the book on Egypt's history, we realize that the land of the Nile still holds many secrets waiting to be discovered. The sands of time may have covered many tales, but each gust of wind, each whisper of the Nile, carries with it the promise of yet another fascinating story waiting to be told. This isn't the end, but merely a pause in the ongoing saga of this incredible land. So, until the next chapter unfolds, Let's carry these tales of Egypt with us, a reminder of the rich and enduring legacy of one of the world's oldest civilizations. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more historical topics. See you soon.